It's 11 a.m. on a typical Tuesday. Two people are sitting in the same corporate restaurant. Lunch costs 35 dirhams. Marcus and Sarah eat the same thing, work on the same floor, and earn similar salaries. One will reach 50 with assets. The other will reach 50 exactly where she is now. The difference between the two isn't intelligence, it isn't effort. It's that one of them understands what level of the game he's at, and the other doesn't even know there is a game. My name is Jack, and I spend a lot of time thinking about why two people with nearly identical incomes end up in completely different financial realities after 10 years. The answer is almost never what you think it is. If you've ever felt like you're working hard but not making progress, subscribe. This video is exactly about that. Before we begin, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, and I'm not here to make you feel bad about where you are. I'm here to show you the map that no one gave you. The problem isn't that you're not progressing. The problem is that you're trying to climb a ladder without knowing how many steps it has, and without knowing which step you're on now. Most people treat personal finance as a straight line. You earn more, you improve. But that's not how it works. It's a ladder. And each step has a completely different logic from the previous one. What works at level 2 sabotages you at level 5. What makes sense at level 4 doesn't exist at level 1. And nobody tells you that. There are 9 levels. Let's go through each one. Level 1 is pure survival. Here, income doesn't cover basic expenses. There's no surplus, there's no choice. The only possible financial goal at this level is stabilization, ensuring that the basics are consistently covered. Any talk of investment here is noise. The problem isn't financial behavior, it's income structure. Those at this level don't need financial education. They need income. Marcus knows this level. He grew up in it. Level 2 is fragile stability. Rent covers expenses, but barely. An unforeseen event destroys everything. There are no reserves, no margin. The feeling here is of always being on the edge without ever having done anything wrong. Marcus spent years here right after his first job. He earned, paid, and broke even. Every month. The work of level 2 is to build a minimum reserve of 1 month's expenses before anything else. Not investment, not retirement savings, reserves, 1 month. This changes the entire psychology of those who are here. Level 3 is true stability. You have a reserve. At least 3 months of expenses saved and untouchable. The difference between level 2 and level 3 seems small in number, but it's enormous in your mind. At level 3, you stop making financial decisions based on fear. And that changes everything. Most people skip level 3 because they think an emergency fund is a waste of time. Then they reach level 4, completely exposed. Marcus skipped this level. Sarah never knew it existed. Level 4 is where most middle-class people live, and where most people get stuck. It's where Marcus and Sarah are today. Stable income, some savings, starting to invest. But it's also where lifestyle creep appears, and where Sarah and Marcus react in completely different ways. Marcus gets stuck externally. His family consumes his savings before he can invest. Sarah gets stuck internally. Every raise becomes a new expense. The promotion she got 2 years ago turned into a bigger apartment. Last year's bonus turned into a trip and a car with monthly payments. Sarah's income grew 40% in the last 3 years. Her net worth grew 0. The trap of level 4 disguises itself as a well-deserved reward. And that's why it's so hard to see, especially for someone like Sarah, who really worked hard to get where they are. A University of Michigan study followed families for 15 years and found that increased income and increased net worth are much weaker correlated than previously thought. What separates those who accumulate wealth from those who don't isn't how much they earn. It's the difference between income and lifestyle, and the ability to maintain that difference over time. Sarah would read this study and completely agree. And she would continue doing exactly what she does. Level 5 is where the game changes. Here you have investments that generate income. It might be small, $200, $500 per month coming from your assets. But the logic changes completely. You stop just trading time for money. A second source begins to exist. Marcus never got here because the margin disappears before it becomes an asset. Sarah never got here because the margin becomes a lifestyle before it becomes an asset. The result is the same. The path is different. At level 5, the money really starts working for you. Level 6 is partial independence. Investments cover a significant portion of expenses, 30%, 40%. You could reduce your working hours if you wanted to. Not because you're rich, because you have the structure. This level exists for far fewer people than it should, not due to a lack of income, but due to a lack of intention. Nobody reaches level 6 by accident. They get there because they decided to. Marcus and Sarah never decided. Nobody ever showed that it was a possible decision. Level 7 is operational freedom. Investments cover 100% of basic expenses. You work by choice, not out of necessity. This doesn't mean retirement. It means that work has become optional. Most people who arrive here continue working, but differently, more creative, more selective, without the weight of desperation. Level 8 is abundance. Here, your wealth grows faster than you can spend, even while living comfortably. Compound interest begins to work on a scale that the human brain wasn't designed to intuitively understand. At this level, the biggest challenge isn't financial, it's psychological, because most people don't know what to do with true freedom. Level 9 is legacy. The wealth outlives you. It funds causes, families, projects. This is the level where money becomes a tool for long-term impact. Very few people reach this level, but not because it's impossible, because it was never the conscious goal. Now for the most important part of this video. Marcus and Sarah are stuck, but at different transitions. Marcus is stuck between levels 2 and 3, because his family consumes his savings before they're built up. Sarah is stuck between levels 4 and 5, because her lifestyle consumes her financial reserves before they become assets. The problem is that without a roadmap, neither of them knows where they're stuck, and so they both try to solve everything at once. Marcus reads about investments when his problem is savings. Sarah tries to cut expenses for 2 weeks and gives up when her problem is automation. They both feel stupid. Neither of them are. The most common transition, the one that holds people back the most, is exactly Sarah's. The move from level 4 to level 5. Because it's the only transition that requires a change in identity, not just behavior. You stop being someone who earns money and start being someone who has money through work. And the brain resists this in ways you can't see while you're inside. Sarah isn't irresponsible. Sarah is someone who never received the map. The solution isn't to cut everything. It's to automate the difference. Before any spending decision, a fixed percentage goes to assets. You define it once. The system runs it every month. Lifestyle can grow, but only with what's left over after automation, not before. For Marcus, the logic is the same, but the first battle is the family budget. Without a defined limit for the family, there's no room for automation. The budget comes before automation. Back at the restaurant, Marcus and Sarah are still having lunch. The conversation is the same. The paycheck will arrive that same day, but one of them will leave here knowing where they stand and will know exactly what they need to change to move up to the next level. The other will continue to think the problem is earning more, when the problem is understanding where they are. Knowing this is the first step. Knowing what to do next is another story, and it's difficult to figure that out alone with just a video. If this video helped you, share it with someone who's stuck and doesn't understand why. Because most people who need to see this won't look for it on their own.